It can only be criminal hubris at this point, or stupidity, that millionaire members of the transnational criminal elite keep using popular, supposedly secure encrypted phone systems to arrange their dirty deeds. But keep using them they do, for gun running, high-value drug importations, money laundering, even to arrange hits on gangland rivals. And once again, they surely regret their folly. Yes, my friends, another shadowy communications platform that promised ironclad privacy and was almost exclusively used by criminals, police say, was smashed this week by an international law enforcement consortium. This comms program was called Ghost. Ghost's users, though, must now look as white as a sheet, drained from the shock and panic of learning a police coalition has been eavesdropping on 1,000 messages a day that were shared on Ghost for at least 6 months. The Mob reporter here with news that will spook gangsters for years to come after real-life Ghostbusters in 9 countries pulled a sneaky switcheroo, a digital infiltration allowing cops to secretly intercept, retrieve, read, and trace secret messages. An operation that's brought more than 50 arrests, including narcos, mafiosi, outlaw bikers, gangsters, and hitmen. Even someone using a ghost phone in a maximum security prison to do a most unexpected thing. Let me tell you about it. A 32-year-old man in Sydney, Australia, with no criminal record, was the alleged mastermind, creator, and administrator of Ghost. He is identified as Jay Je Yoon Jung. Here he is being arrested. His family emigrated from Korea when he was a baby and started a commercial cleaning business in a Sydney suburb, where Jung continued to work. That was his day job, I guess, because he allegedly found time to create and run the Ghost platform, on the side and out of sight of his parents, with whom he still lived. Police declared him a bona fide computer geek. He built Ghost 9 years ago, and since then it became popular with an array of blue-chip criminals around the world. In 2021, its marketing was amped up considerably, and it became a popular haunt for several thousand underworld figures. It bragged of bulletproof security and military-grade encryption. Here's the Ghost website, claiming intense privacy and security, with features like end-to-end encrypted calling, self-destructing messages, a purge function, and, importantly, tamper-proof servers. Ghost sounds just like what a busy crime lord might need to keep tabs on business. Ghost handsets, which are modified smartphones, sold for about $1,600 US. That's about 1,430 euros. That included a 6-month service plan to an encrypted network and technical support, police said. A 6-month extension was another $750. Ghost was popular because it used 3 encryption standards and had a feature to send a code to someone else's phone that deletes your messages previously sent to it. Jung was arrested at his parents' home in the suburb of Narwi on September 17, 2024. His digital hygiene wasn't as good as his swagger. Piggybacking on one of the many software updates pushed to Ghost handsets, police found a way to add a covert surprise. Investigators said they infected Ghost handsets with a virus, which turned each handset into an unwitting transmitter, forwarding to police a copy of each message and call. Australian Federal Police called their part of the probe Operation Kraken, which tallied about 40 arrests for them, stopped drugs, and uncovered dozens of guns. An officer said the Ghost penetration allowed police to thwart 50 gangland killings. Now, Australian police didn't do this alone. The first break came from police in Sweden, who located one of the Ghost's servers in France. A joint task force was formed by Europol in March 2022, called Operational Task Force Next, including America's FBI and France's Gendarmerie. Ghost's servers were in France and Iceland. Finances went through the United States. Users were in Sweden, France, Spain, Italy, Ireland, the Netherlands, Australia, and elsewhere. European officials said it was administered from both Australia and Canada, but Canadian police wouldn't say anything about that. There was a Canadian component, codenamed Project Cyborg, Canada's federal police told me they played a key role in the task force by developing a technique that enabled officers to seize digital evidence. There was one person arrested in Canada, in Vancouver, but police say it was connected to the export of drugs to Australia, not running the network. A surprising array of customers picked it up. An important mafia figure in Italy named Giovanni Parlangeli was a fugitive after an anti-mafia police operation last year targeting the Sacra Corona Unita, one of Italy's powerful mafia groups based in the southern region of Puglia. This is the moment he was pinched. Parlangeli had been a ghost for 16 months until September 13th, when he was suddenly and surprisingly arrested at dawn at a farmhouse. We didn't know it then, but we know now how police knew where to find him. That's right, he apparently used a ghost phone. In Ireland, police said they identified 4 serious organized crime groups using ghosts to move drugs and plot violence. After Australia, in fact, Ireland was the network's second largest user base. The Irish National Police, called An Garda Síochána, said the 11 people arrested there were all high-value targets, described as the top tier of organized crime in Ireland. That includes members of a group known as the Family that has even outpaced the notorious Kinahan cartel at the top of the food chain in Dublin. Now that happens when an organization's leadership is overseas, on the run, with a huge bounty on their heads, as the Kinahans are. A major drug trafficking route into Ireland was uncovered and dismantled thanks to the ghost information. And a huge amount of cocaine was seized, valued by police at 15.2 million euros. That's about 17 million US dollars. Perhaps the wackiest use for ghosts was uncovered in Australia. Allegedly, it involved this man, Guy Hopcook. Here he is being extradited last year from Turkey to Australia, where he still sits in a supermax prison, awaiting trial, accused in one of Australia's biggest heroin importations. From behind bars, he was allegedly using ghosts, get this, to plan a fake terrorist plot. Arrangements were allegedly made on ghosts for bombs, rocket launchers, and terrorist flags. They weren't jihadis though. The idea was allegedly to invent evidence of a supposedly pending terror attack and then trade information about it to officials in exchange for charges being dropped. In between messages about a fake plot, police alleged there was a real conspiracy to import cocaine hidden in refrigerated shipping containers. Border agents seized 42 kilos of coke at the border. One of the networks disrupted in Australia was a major promoter of Ghost and was its largest reseller, responsible for distributing 157 of them. 2 of the earliest known arrests from the Ghost hack came back in June at the Port of Melbourne in Australia. 2 men charged with drug trafficking, one for meth, the other for cocaine. The meth was found in these hidden compartments inside a vehicle that arrived at the port. If you, like me, wondered how cops knew about the secret stash, well, now we know. They blabbed on Ghost. They were arrested a second time this week as Operation Kraken was unveiled, along with an alleged co-conspirator. Another man in Australia was charged for refusing to allow police to access an electronic device. Police searching his home say they found what they believe to be a ghost phone wrapped in a t-shirt hidden in a drawer in his bedroom. He declined to unlock it for officers, police say, which is a criminal offence in Australia. The maximum penalty for that in Australia is 10 years in prison. Crikey. It's all a bit mind-boggling to me that sophisticated criminals still risk everything by using commercial secure phone systems that seem to be purpose-built for criminals. There have been several popular systems that ended badly for users: Phantom Secure, Sky ECC, EncroChat, and Anom. They all had cool names and big promises. I've told you about these over the years on the Mob Reporter. Each new system got a surge in popularity when an older one was busted. Instead of questioning if any system was safe, gangsters convinced themselves that the next one was the unbreachable one. It seems they thought those busted before them weren't as smart as they are. They only back winners. That's criminal hubris. The landscape of underworld encrypted comms has shifted and fragmented as these busts keep rolling out. Uncertainty among users has broken the monopolies the big platforms once had. The user base for Ghost, for instance, is much smaller than for EncroChat or Sky ECC, but right now I know of 10 similar alternative systems quietly on the market. But as a Europol official said,
sometimes the smaller networks get the most important criminals and the most interesting information for us and for our takedown.
That sounds suspiciously specific. I suspect he knows of some high-value targets right now using custom-made communications. The most embarrassing of all the phone screw-ups was undoubtedly Anom, an encrypted phone system built and distributed by the FBI and the Australian Federal Police, who then duped serious criminal players to act as ambassadors, selling a phone system that was unknowingly patched into a police switchboard. Ghost is the latest dead end. It's a pity police couldn't wait until Halloween to blow it all up. That's the perfect time for a ghostly trick-or-treat. Please tap the thanks button to send me a tip, and give this video a like and a comment to juice the algorithm. That helps me a lot. And make sure you're subscribed to the Mob Reporter and set your notifications to all. That lets you know every time I release an episode. Thanks for watching to the end.